Jennifer,
Oh, hey, how are you?
good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You caught me mid lunch here.
Uh,
We're not the only two on this meeting, right?
no. It should be several of us and stuff.
Okay.
Hey, it's Ogla. I'm here. Hi,
Hi.
Who's this?
it's Ogla.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome.
I'm gonna take another bite of food here, just so you know.
Okay. All right. No worries.
Don't be jealous.
I have to test out a couple things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that? Okay.
I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
Awesome. How you guys doing today?
I'm having an awesome day today.
That's
I'm back at work. I've been off for a week, and so I am loving this. How about you?
I'm doing awesome. How you feeling? You feeling great?
Oh my gosh, I feel so good.
That's great.
Yeah, I just feel like ready to conquer the world.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yes, we all can.
Yes.
Just how we choose to look at it, right? How's everybody else?
We're doing great. Having a great day too.
Awesome. Is everybody getting
Thanks.
rain?
Yes.
It's cold here today.
What is this? Does not feel like Florida to me at all.
No.
It ain't right.
Sure is it. So who's on the call so far? I see Ogla, Jennifer.
I'm sorry. What was that, Chris?
I was just wondering who else is on the call. Let's see.
How many are you expecting?
Expecting around 8 or 9.
Okay. I see an Ashley S.
Yes,
Ashley.
I'm with Mark Dilworth,
Oh, okay.
the Jack Beach office. How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Brandy just logged in. Hey, Brandy. Maureen, I'm here.
Yeah, I can hear everyone.
All right, cool. Stormy, I see you. Can you hear me? Maureen, can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure can.
I gotta make it sound louder. It's low.
Brandy, can you hear us?
I can.
Okay, awesome. Just wait for Jessica to get on the line, and then we'll kind of get started, okay?
Great.
So I'm gonna have to say this disclaimer, I'm still learning the system, so there might be some times where technology-wise, we might have some little setbacks, but I'm working on it, okay? So we'll get it down pat. This is my second Zoom, so we'll see how it goes, okay?
Well, you're doing good so far.
Much better than I would do, Chris.
Well, Chris, I've been paying for it for years and never use it, so
Yeah?
maybe I should. I'll watch and see what you do.
Yeah, it looks so much easier when you're on the other end, though.
Yeah.
So like things just happen, and they just kind of work themselves out. So All right, like in order to kind of save time, I want to kind of just really jump in. We got a lot of stuff to cover today, and I just want to kind of thank you for being on the call today. I'm going to attempt to go through slides, and hopefully this goes pretty well. Obviously, we're holding our first North Florida Region Committee meeting, and really the focus of it is our program is kind of geared to what would it look like if our market centers became known as a place where communities and their young people get trained and equipped for success. And we do this obviously through our QL programming and our workshop. And so Jessica and I are, as you guys know, have been named as the regional ambassadors for the North Florida region. And I wanted to kind of just introduce, we're excited because this year we're kind of developing a little bit more structure inside the organization as far as QL goes and the KWKC. And so with that being said, I'm excited to announce our structure in a sense. So when we're looking at for the committee, we're kind of geared into basically 4 main areas of ambassadors, okay? So in Central Florida, Olga and George Freelove are going to be a part of helping lead that Orlando, Central Florida area. Jennifer and Mark are up in Jacksonville.
Woo-hoo.
And in Tampa, we got Stormy and Damien. And in Sarasota, we have Maureen and Brandy. All right. And then in addition, we have a couple people that are also engaged in it where we want to have at least maybe 2 or 3 of our KWYP presidents that are also involved in our committee, okay? We see a good opportunity for some great synergy for that. And so Catherine and Sean, I don't know if they're on yet, but they're going to be a part of that piece as well, okay? All right, so what I want to kind of do from now, I want us to we're going to kind of break out in little small groups. We're going to do groups of 3. And I want you to kind of share inside your groups what compelled you to kind of get involved with KWKC, and what leadership trait do you feel is your biggest asset, okay?
All right.
All right, so we're going to break up into little groups. This is going to, I just want you to take maybe 3 minutes to share with inside your group, and then we're going to come back as a collective. And if you could pick maybe one spokesman, maybe that can share like common theme and all that kind of stuff from the group, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Perfect.
All right. So this is where it gets a little tricky for me, okay? So or do this. All right, so we're going to break up into little groups and then just accept the group dynamic, all right?
Okay.
Chris, hey bud, it's Mark Dilworth.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hello. That fast?
All right, I'm going to put you guys in groups so you can go ahead and join. All right. Cool. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
All right.
I can hear. It's just the 3 of us now.
Yeah, so Mark and Stormy, are you there?
I'm here.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and share. Like, what kind of compelled you kind of get involved with KWKC, and what do you feel like is your strongest leadership trait? Who wants to go
Can we
first?
go first or Ashley?
Yeah.
I'll say it in a very detached manner so I don't cry. For me, I feel like I was so unbelievably blessed to be raised by the most amazing people with the most amazing legacies, and they were just so supportive and intentional about the way they raised me and exposing me and teaching me and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like it's the kind of stuff that really everybody should have instilled in them. And honestly, it's a lot that's the same kind of stuff as what's in QL. And for me, especially not having children, like it just seems like a really amazing way to be able to give back in a similar capacity to maybe the way they did for me. And I just feel like too much has been given, much is required. And it just seems like a blessing to be able to do that for other people. So I feel personally passionate about it because of that. And I feel like it's a unique way to contribute those kinds of things to others' lives. So in a nutshell.
And leadership trait?
Leadership traits, I don't know. I mean, part of it is passion. I know when I'm passionate, I can be very strong in influencing and affecting other people's lives. Like it can be very contagious. So honestly, I think just passion and genuinely actually caring about the people that I'm working with. I don't know. I mean, hopefully I'm a good teacher because I think that's important. But there are other people I think decide that, not me. But I think what I've tangibly perceived is more just the passion and the time, being willing, and being more focused on kind of serving people.
Cool. Awesome. Sure, Stormy. That's awesome. Mark, how about you?
Chris, I got into it. I saw Quantum Leap. I saw Gary teach Quantum Leap back in 2010 or 11 when, the real estate market, as you know, in Florida had exploded in a bad way. And, I was in a lurch with respect to our financial situation with my family. And I didn't feel, as the breadwinner, I was doing what I needed to do. And I listened to Quantum Leap, and it really changed my life. It really did. I really took the lessons from it, and it just hit really deep. And so when this came out, Quantum Leap for Kids, and I've got two kids. We have two kids. I just thought, you know what, this is the way to give back. And so, flew out to Austin and did it. And so far, so good. Love it. That's why I did it, though. I was affected by Quantum Leap as an adult.
Oh, that's awesome.
With respect to leadership trait, I would consider myself pretty passionate, but I guess I would also say, and it's kind of fun, or it's kind of strange to self-evaluate, but I think I can deliver a message that needs to be delivered in a manner that the other person will take it in. So understanding maybe others' emotional intelligence.
That's awesome. I need some of that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the reason why I kind of got involved is that I just, I took Quantum Leap, and I just realized that this is like a path that this was the missing link that I wish I would have known when I was younger. And I was always searching for it. Like I was always searching for what was that secret to success. And when I finally took it, like I was like, oh my God, I feel so stupid I didn't take this earlier, because it was all the stuff that I wanted. And I wanted it when I was younger. I made a lot of decisions in my life based on searching for the keys to success. And I thought that this program actually delivers that. And so that's why I kind of got involved, and I'm very passionate about it. And I would say probably the same passion is probably, when I get like involved in something I'm very passionate about, I feel like that helps me get some involvement and stuff. So.
Very good.
Cool. So who wants to speak for us?
I'm fine. Stormy, if you want to go for it, girl.
No, I'm okay. I was a spokesperson in at family reunion, so you can
All right, Mark, it's you.
Ashley, you want to? Let Ashley. Ashley will do it.
Well, I don't think they know who I am. So I help Mark a lot with the quantum leap on the administrative side of things and helping it get pulled all together. So I've actually done 2 of them with him both since I've been working here. So I enjoy it a lot. I work with youth students outside of work. So I think this program is extremely valuable to the younger generation because they're the next group of leaders behind us.
And you've been a student.
Yeah, twice. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's all in.
All right, cool. So I'm going to go back into the breakout, and then we're going to go back into everything. All right, Jared. All right, as people kind of come back.
That's really impressive, Chris.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Right. Can you guys still see the screen?
Just your name.
I just see your name.
Okay, we're back on the main line.
All right, cool.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, there we go.
who would like to start and kind of share what happened in their group and some message that was there?
Well, to my group, do y'all mind if I become our spokesperson?
Yes, I was just going to
Yeah.
nominate you. So.
All right, taking the charge. So in our group, we discovered that Brandy's compelled to be part of KWKC because of her own young adult experience, in that she really feels like she wasn't equipped and that she lost some time of her life trying to figure it all out on her own, and that this is a way for her to really give back and be able to help kids get kind of a leg up on what life is, so that they don't have to experience that. And Maureen and I shared the reason being that we wanted to be equipped to handle our own kids and kind of be able to bring some of this home to them, and in the process help other kids. And then from leadership traits, Brandy has 2 stepdaughters, which I can attest to the fact that being a step parent is way different than being a biological parent. It's so challenging. And so having those daughters for 10 years has really helped her. And then Maureen is a KW trainer since 2012, and that really, really gives her the ability to lead at a high level when it comes to training and presenting and that sort of thing. And then for me, the same thing, coaching being just my heart, and being able to bring that to the table with KWKC is really what I feel is my strongest trait. Did I represent, girls?
You did. Thank you.
Okay. I'm trying to be very precise and brief.
Cool. Awesome.
Cool.
Who's next? And in the next group, I'd like someone to maybe also share about maybe some leadership traits that kind of came out too. Ashley, you want to go?
Oh, Mark, seriously, Mark.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, so in our group we have Chris, Stormy, Mark, and myself, Ashley. And what we kind of concluded for how we all got involved was Mark was personally impacted by attending as an adult, and just saw the importance in sharing this with kids, especially since he has 2 of his own. Chris was impacted because he also took it, and it kind of really shook up his perspective of what is he doing at that age and why he didn't do it sooner, and really made a huge impact on him. And for Stormy, also a lot with her upbringing and who she is as a person, how much that impacted her as well. Did I do that right?
Yeah, you did a great job.
So for leadership traits, awesome. So yeah, for leadership traits, I think collectively it was about passion, all the passion that we individually have for KW Kids Care and for Quantum Leap.
Cool, awesome. Thanks for sharing. We had one more group. Who wants to speak there? If someone has also too, if someone can, they might mute themselves because we got some stuff going on in the background.
Yeah, there's some background noise that's really loud.
All right, who from the other group who wants to share?
So it's so glad I was in a group with Catherine from the park.
There we go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I learned that actually the KWYC. What compared her to join KWKC, there's a common in YP and KWKC, and you can see how both of she could work with the both organizations to grow a common goal to co-promote events, and it just made sense because of what YP said. And then for me, what compelled me is I have 4 children, and I also have 2 young adults. I have another 15 nephews and nieces, so I know how important it is to have a platform where they can all be engaged as they try to adult lives. How important it is, additional support and a place to go to. We both had the same leadership trait. It was both our abilities to influence others towards driving towards a common goal, and specifically was a strong ability to engage others by asking questions and to influence them through the relationship.
All right, let me see. All right, so can everybody mute themselves real quick? I appreciate it. Mute yourself. All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna kind of go through. I appreciate everybody sharing that information and stuff like that. And then you guys can hear me. If you can give me a thumbs up, make sure you can hear me. Be great. Okay. All right, perfect. All right, so when we're looking at our program, obviously the mission of KWKC is one, to provide the learning experience for youth that inspire big thinking, model wealth building, and instill a passion for generous giving. And then the vision of it is really to be a family of world changers. And so with that, in our region, we've kind of really formatted, talking with Georgia, what was kind of important to her is to really empower young adults to improve their lives by developing leaders and equipping them with the tools and models for success. And we feel like we can obviously do that. And then the vision is to change the world through young adults. Georgia always talks about the Admiral, his last name is escaping me right now, but from the University of Texas that gave that speech, and how the ripple effect can be done just by changing one life. And what can we do as an organization, be able to change the lives of people in North Florida region and change it for the good. And so our focus is to do that. All right. And so we're kind of structured based on, this is kind of like our preview based on the committee and the direction of the committee. Okay. And so our really main focus is, one, to develop regional standards and program policies that promote KWKC within the North Florida region. All right. One of the things that's really interesting about this is because we as a region are kind of leading the way on a regional standpoint. One, we have Georgia that is behind us 100%, and that has a direct impact on what we can do. And KWKC has come to us several times because they see us as a region and doing it at a high level. So all the things that we're doing in the region is being benchmarked, and we're being used as a benchmark to see success. Okay, so I appreciate your guys' leadership and just getting involved, because we are the forefront of this KWKC program and developing it that all the other regions will model after. All right. And so coming up with policies is going to be a really big, important piece of what we're going to focus on. And so, and this guy goes through some other general things that I want to really, I'll kind of touch on important. The bold items are the things that I would say we're going to spend the most time speaking about today. And for the year, we're going to really focus on that. So really developing the programs and standards and policies is going to be a really big, important piece. And then how we administer a regional scholarship, we'll call a QL Warrior Scholarship, to send QL graduates to Austin, Texas. And then the next piece is, how do we recruit and develop more QL instructors, ambassadors, and leaders inside the North Florida region in order to meet our goals. Okay, so we're going to spend a lot of time as a committee focus on these really big component pieces. All right. Let me see if I can unmute you guys if you have any questions about that. If you guys want to go ahead and unmute yourself, if you have a question, or you want to add anything about that. All right, moving forward. Yeah. Did you have a question? Anybody have a question?
I think it looks good, Chris.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. And so the other piece is where we see this regional committee piece really come in, and the area piece is really focused on how do we, as areas inside our region, get hyper-focused on some specific things that we can do collectively, okay? We all have roles in it, like in a sense, we have a role as the region, we have a role as the area, and then the market centers have their role. We're gonna spend some time really focused on the area piece today. So one of the most important pieces is, how do we, for a city area, how do we coordinate and develop graduate workshops so we can, for after QL days, that will continue to keep the message and the environment for the graduates. So those people that have opted in to come to a workshop, we want to, obviously we know that one workshop is not going to completely change your life. We want to have them in an environment that still supports that growth, their personal growth. So we want to create workshops where they can dive deeper, and that's going to be a kind of focus of the area pieces of how you collectively as market centers come together and develop other opportunities for the students and graduates to interact. The other piece is what we're looking at doing is establishing local scholarship fund. And so these local scholarship funds can be used as what we call carrots for people to come out and participate in the workshops. One of the biggest challenges nationally is getting butts in the seats, right? And so one of the things that we're looking at is developing local scholarships, maybe $1,000 scholarship, and we'll talk about that, where we have funds that we can give out to people that are attending the events. The other piece is administering these scholarships. That will be something that will be done at the area level, and also looking at quarterly or educational workshop networking opportunities for the QL warriors and QL graduate students. And then obviously the final piece is still, how do we recruit locally the QL instructors and QL ambassadors inside the city areas that want to get involved in the program. Do people have questions about this piece? And you can.
Chris, I do.
Okay.
Can you?
Chris, I have a.
Oh, hang on one second. Just really quick. In order for other people to be involved in QL, when you say recruiting, are you referring to people that are not KW?
No, mainly I'm focused on this recruiting people. At the bottom is going to be recruiting KW associates.
KW, okay, got you. Okay.
People that are involved in there. Now we have some opportunities with like the continual graduate program to maybe align ourselves with people that are like-minded. Because we don't really have I would say a system behind that right now. So there's opportunities to engage them. Either, for example, let's say we have a mastermind on wealth building, right? Those people don't all need to be KW people. They can be business people in the area if we want to do some stuff like that.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Great. Thank you. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
My question, Chris, was what does the role of a QL ambassador look like?
Okay. So at the market center level?
Sure.
Yeah, so it's really just someone at the market center that wants to lead, that could be an instructor or could not be an instructor, okay? Maybe they're passionate about QL and they want to get involved, but they're maybe not passionate about teaching, okay? And so they can be that champion in the market center and being a leader in the market center to help it kind of push forward, but they might not just be an instructor.
Okay.
Any other questions about this?
Hey, Chris, it's Jessica. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to just clarify on the different scholarships, like the Market Center scholarship versus the city scholarship versus the region scholarship versus the national scholarship?
Okay. Yeah, let me come to that. Yeah, so is someone else talking? All right. So right now we have a couple different opportunities for people to get engaged. Okay. So one, one of the kind of goals. Let me come back to this after we go through the GPS. Okay, I'll come to that. All right. It'll be a better timing because I got some slides on that. Any other questions about roles? All right, cool. All right, so when we're looking at our goals for the North Florida region, is one that our three main goals, or four main goals, is one's develop 74 instructors. Currently, we have 42 active instructors, which is good. So we're right around like 59%. Host 60 workshops. And with that, having 25 students per workshop, it will allow us to change 1,500 lives and then raise $150,000 worth of stuff. I put the details behind that on the GPS. If you had a chance to look through that, it kind of goes through and breaks down how that operates. Most of that fundraising, I would say, one is kind of geared towards the fundraising in the market centers and the direct funds going to KWKC. The other piece is raising at least $600 per workshop that we deliver. The other piece has to do with local scholarships. One being at a regional level, we're looking at where we can have at least raise $12,000, and each region develop $3,000 that you can use for scholarships. These scholarships would go to, on the regional level, would go to educational programming, such as, like, for example, if a student wanted to go, was in college, or a high school student that was going into college, that money could be used for that. Or if they're a professional, it could go to some professional development type classes, like maybe our bolds and any educational type stuff. It could go to some of those things. And then on a local level, at a market center level, the idea is also to be able to send one QL person to one person per market center to go and actually see QL being delivered with Gary Keller in Austin, Texas. Okay, that cost is roughly right around $1,200 per student with flight, hotel, and the registration fees for the student. So those are some of the components that are there. Okay. All right, and then on the market center engagement piece, some of the things that we're looking to kind of do, we kind of talked about that. One of the things that we're looking to do is really get like a 20% adoption, your top 20% of QL committees on the ALC. So next year, as we kind of move forward, we have more established approach in the market center to get involved behind KWKC. 2 QL instructors per market center, host one event at least, send one student to Gary Keller. One of the things that that kind of came about from George's meeting that we had last week was to have our fundraising month. So we're looking for the month of July to be all geared towards, how we have those green sheet donations, trying to generate that month established that we'll donate to KWKC and put an effort behind that in the market center in order to do that. And then the raise the $1,500 as a World Changer Fund. The World Changer Fund is it can be used for some of the scholarship donations. And this is a local fund that's not, right now we don't have it as a 501c3. So it's charitable, but it gives us the kind of flexibility to kind of do some other things with it in a local fund to do that. And so the idea is just to have a local KWKC fund that we can use to send people to Gary, or can be used for scholarships. And then QL called nights or afternoons or something like that allow us to kind of generate some people there. And so the one part that I've kind of said a couple of times is that we're looking for each city to have to fundraise to generate basically $3,000 and give out 3 scholarships for educational development. Okay. And work with your market centers to maybe develop some strategic relationships with some universities, maybe businesses or community organizations inside your area. And also to facilitate graduate follow-up workshops and sessions so we can kind of keep the energy kind of going. Okay. Any questions about some of this stuff?
Hey, Chris, real quick, not a question. Would you go back to the last slide real quick? I want to take a photo.
Okay. I'll send these to you too, so you don't have to.
Okay. All right. That's cool then.
Yeah, I'll just send them to you. Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
I look at it, Chris, like I look at it and go, okay, but like in my head right now, I'm looking at this going, okay, this is a lot. And for me, in my mind, I look at it and go, okay, where are we right now? And what could we focus on as a market center? What's one thing that we could nail this year? I mean, we've got I can get another QL instructor. I know that we'll have 2 events. We've done that before. I know we'll do that again. Maybe it's a scholarship.
Yeah.
Maybe it's, you know what I mean? Maybe, yeah. What is one thing that we can work on? Then how could Jen and myself, and because I know Jen's got some great ideas. We've met before. How can we come together as an area? I think that would be my 2. Let's raise a scholarship, and let's get the area working together.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Those are perfect. And obviously each area is going to be at different stages and all that kind of stuff. This is the end goal, And so if we, and it might, for example, some of these things, maybe you're saying, man, this is way too much. I can't do all this year. The idea is that we're moving forward towards these goals, if that makes sense.
It does.
All right, cool. All right, so here's some important dates that are kind of coming up. All right. One, we have QL Day coming up on April 27th. And the goal for our region is to have 15 workshops going on. Right now we have 6 confirmed, so we need 9 more in the region. So it's really kind of reaching out and, kind of getting involved with the people. I sent one of the spreadsheets that I sent everybody was who the QL instructors are. It basically had the status of how many QL instructors that you have, either active or inactive, and it has the list of all those people. It's really just seeing who's going to actually do one and get them kind of registered. Right now we have a lot of people that are inactive and we need them to get back to active, and all they have to do is sign their covenants and schedule a class. Okay. And if they can schedule for QL Day, that's awesome. That's great. The other thing that we're looking to do is in May is to have a graduate workshop. So all the people that have attended QL, let's say for the last year or so, we give them an opportunity to have a graduate workshop where we dive deeper into some of the material. Georgia's going to help us lead that piece. And then we're going to be looking for different instructors to kind of help lead different components of that. And then QL in June with Gary, a date has not been established yet. It's usually the 3rd or 4th week of June when that happens. In July, looking at that fundraising month. And then we're also looking at maybe an opportunity for the areas to kind of fundraise, have maybe a fundraising event. We had success with our Top Golf last year in Central Florida. That's an easy piece if some of the other areas want to do that. I know there's one in Jacksonville, there's one in Tampa. But if it's not Top Golf, let's do some kind of event that's, generating some funds. In September, Seth Campbell is going to come and actually teach QL. And then we're going to have a regional QL workshop, instructor workshop at that same weekend. Right now we're working out the dates. It's either going to be the 25th and 26th or the 26th and 27th, or no, I'm sorry, 26th and 27th or the 27th and 28th. Okay. We're just working those dates right now with Seth Campbell to see when we can actually do that. And then our next QL day is October 12th. And then we have been selected as a region to spearhead a new regional QL workshop. That'll probably be that last week of October. More details to follow on that. We don't have anything truly established on that yet. Okay. Any questions about any of these dates? All right, cool. So I want you guys to unmute yourselves, okay? All right, and so we're gonna do a quick mastermind, okay? I want to do this in about 5 minutes, and we're gonna kind of break up into 3 groups again, all right? And I want you to mastermind about how can we attract more associates to engage in the KWKC program, okay?
Feedback.
All right, so we're going to break out into groups again, and then we're going to take about 3 minutes to brainstorm around this, okay?
where that's, hi, Chris. Chris, are you there?
Maureen, I wonder if it's you.
Yeah, Maureen. There we go. You think it's me?
One of us in.
Okay. Well, I'm going to I'll mute myself and tell me if it's me. Was the sound from me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, wait, I muted myself too. Hold on.
Oh. I don't hear it now.
Yeah, it's you, Maureen.
Well, how do we talk to her without?
Okay, I'll just turn myself on when I need to.
Okay.
Well, I was suggesting that QL have a standing spot in every team meeting every month.
Okay.
There was a while where we were doing that in the 2 market centers here that I was working in, and then somehow we got away from that. I really just feel like that's a really good way to keep it in front of the agents at all times. And with a call to action.
Cool. And what do you mean by a call to action for this?
Say, what is this month? What do we need from our agents to support QL? If it's July, well, it's fundraising. If it's October, it's invite your sphere to the QL day. But dependent on what that month or that coming month is going to be bringing for us for the QL, getting the agents involved on that on a month-by-month basis and actually having a call to action as to what it is that we need for QL that month.
Cool.
It's a thought. Because it was about how to get them involved, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's been pretty successful with the QLs that I've done. The 2 months before, I do all this promo and then I just fall off.
Yeah.
If we could sustain that every month where they could predict that we're coming at them with an update and, a call to action, that I think would be powerful.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've had some success with that as well.
Awesome.
I think, and I'm sorry if for noise you're hearing, I don't hear it, but I also think that we have to educate the office on what QL is. I don't think people actually know. And I know when I go after some of my clients and their children, they say, so at the end of this, are they going to be able to sell real estate? And I say, it has nothing to do with real estate. And I get that same kind of deer in the headlight look from agents in the office. I think that if we put together something maybe to share at the team meetings, a couple of slides, just giving up something as a united front, like we're all sharing the same thing about what it is to get people excited, then people might want to help get people in the room, get kids in the room.
Okay, cool. Yeah, what are some things that we can do that are, to bring the education awareness level up? From an education standpoint, because there's a lot of people that even haven't gone through QL, so that it's like a weird concept, right? If you've gone to it, you understand what it is, so you get it. But if you haven't gone, what are maybe some of the things that we do?
I think that testimonials from kids that have gone through it with their perspective of what is QL, that's been more powerful than anything. And from the 2 that I've done, I had all of them write what QL meant to them. Okay. And then I just read those. I shared those at the team meeting after our QL last time. And I said, this is what QL is. This is what, from the mouths of the attendees, this is what QL is. This is the way we change the world. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'd say testimonials.
Yeah, I think those are testimonials are a big piece. Mm-hmm. One of the things that we're doing and we're going to start doing is we're engaging it with Ignite, and so we're going to do call sessions with Ignite as well.
I like that.
Because there's some components there. Instead of making it they're nervous to make calls and stuff like that, we can give them a quality call in a script to kind of go over to make calls and say, hey, this is a great way to have your student come into one of the workshops and attend this and come from contribution. So
that's awesome. Giving them some kind of value to get on the phone with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, we're gonna go back into the main group. Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
All right, we all back? Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so who wants to kind of share some things that kind of came from the groups? Who's in group number 2? Who was in group number 2?
I don't know. We were 3.
All right, go ahead, 3.
I knew that was going to happen.
Mark's turn to talk.
Well, I think Stormy had some good thoughts in the sense of as far as marketing it and doing like we would anything else. I mean, is it on our private Facebook pages? Are we really talking about it at team meetings? Is it something that we're focused on with respect to materials in the market center? Like, how much are we putting into doing it? Because I had said, honestly, Chris, you know, Ashley's effort is awesome, but really, like, I'm like 3 weeks out, I'm like, oh man, we got to focus on this now. Yeah. So, you know, I know we can do a better job following Stormy's lead with respect to that. And then Damien said, let's hit it like we hit Bold, you know, because we do really focus on Bold, whether it's decorating the market center, having guest speakers come in during the sales meeting, all that type of stuff. Plus, you know, can we find a local testament, a kid that's been through it? Can we find a local testament? And if we can we share it with the other groups?
Yeah, that would be awesome, actually.
Hey, I just even had I could even build on that and say, what kind of awesome leadership training and Toastmaster training would it be if we could actually get one of our attendees that really took a lot away and wanted to share it, have them come into a team meeting and share from their own perspective with the agents what QL meant to them.
Yeah, awesome.
That would be very powerful.
Very powerful for them and very powerful for the agents too.
Oh yeah.
So that's an opportunity for them, right? We have to present it as the opportunity to grow.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else? What are some other things? Thanks for sharing that. That was some good stuff.
That's good, Jen.
Let's do it.
What was it? There was somebody else had something?
Well, just to add on to that, we talked in our group about, are we moving to everybody's group or we just?
Yeah.
We're good? Okay. We talked about, you know, playing off what Mark said, making sure that at every team meeting, there's a standing spot for QL, and that at that spot, we have primed and prepped and ready to go what it is that next month is, what initiative is next month. So I was explaining that if it's June and we know July is our fundraising month, we start talking about it in June at our team meeting, and that there is a standing spot. It's just part of what we deliver at the team meetings.
Cool. Yeah, I know one of the things that we're doing in our market center is that we're engaging in Ignite as a touch, like as a lead generation piece too, that we're going to engage them to give them a nice touch plan to develop those relationships and come from contribution. So that's something
I love that
we're implementing in Ignite. All right, so okay, so we're going to wrap this up. We've got one last question, and then we're going to kind of wrap up and then finish the call. Okay, so what could we do are you guys still see the slide?
No.
Okay, all right. Uh-oh. Done something.
Screen share?
Yeah, okay.
There we are.
All right. So what can we do as a QL regional leaders to raise enough money to change 1,500 lives in the area? Okay. And our goal obviously is 1,500, but what are some things that maybe we can do to kind of elevate that fundraising piece inside the region? Okay. I'm gonna have us break out into groups, and we'll touch this one. Okay.
Okay.
And this will be fairly quickly, and then we'll come back and wrap it up.
So I have feedback on so I turned it on and off. Are you hearing feedback from me?
Right
Nope.
now, it sounds good.
All right,
Hey,
so
Chris.
when you do, tell me and I'll stop it.
Okay.
So, Stormy, how are you going to get money for us? Because I'm drawing a blank on some ideas here.
Yeah, one of the things I was thinking about is when we onboard agents, we have a form for them to opt in to contribute on their green sheets to KW Cares. And I'd like to add one for Kids Can. I think that could be one way to help bring extra awareness. And then, I mean, if they're giving regularly on green sheets like KW Cares, that could be really awesome. That's one idea.
And it's Stormy, we're actually doing that, and I have that form that I can share with
You kind of cut out a little bit. You said you guys are doing it?
you. Yeah, we're doing that, and I have that form I can share.
Okay, that's awesome. How has that worked for you guys? Do you find you have a lot of participation?
To be honest, I haven't tracked it as far as like how many people that we have enrolled in that program. I do know that we raised roughly around, I think, a little over $8,000 from green sheet donations last year. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
I just haven't tracked how many people are actually opting in, but like we raised a good bit of money last year from it.
Yeah.
So, Chris, it would be interesting to know how many donations per green sheet. I know that's probably not something you can determine, but are people more willing to donate $25 every time they have a closing because they know that sponsors one youth or one team? And I'm just throwing it out there. One thing that I'm not clear on, and I doubt you are either, and that is I have a monthly amount of money that I donate just audit through KWKC through the website.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't think it's being tracked for the Lakeland Market Center, but to me, it doesn't really even matter because it's going to KWKC. So it's either, in my mind, it's sponsored somebody somewhere. I don't know if that's the right way to look at it. But it's on auto pay. So I just get a bill every month that says, hey, you made your donation again.
Yeah, that does, it does link to you. Like if you're donating that way, it does come out that way. There is availability that comes to the market center that way.
Okay, so if I said to our ALC, $50 a month, if you feel led to do that, then somehow we would be able to say that counts towards our what's our goal? 150,000?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So I know some people would say, I'll just donate a flat amount per month, and then others would say, I'll donate per closing.
Okay. Anything else?
On our green sheet now, so I can ask how that's going. I donate with each closing on the green sheet. I just wonder how many people are selecting that because we haven't really done a really good job of explaining what this is in our market center.
Yeah. And that there is an educational challenge there too. So.
Right, and I think once we hit that edge or we address that educational challenge, we might see those donations going up.
Hey, Chris, one more thing. If you could run this up the poll, hey, it doesn't. They're tracking internationally.
Yeah.
It's coming up with blanks. So if there was a way for us to kind of gamify within our market center, who's giving more, we're doing it now with KW Cares, and letting people know these are the big givers, and why don't you consider beginning to donate.
Yeah, I mean, if we had like ratings, I know Georgia, we had talked about doing some of that stuff for the region, but like if we did it on the market center level, I think that would be a good gauge as well. So.
Okay.
Hey, I just checked in my KW, when you go to the report section, there's a Kids Can section, and it actually shows Kids Can donations by agent in the market center.
But is it working now?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's accurate. It just shows for the.
Bye, everybody.
Good seeing you.
Good seeing you guys too. We'll be in touch.
Okay.
Yeah, it has Kids Can per associate. It shows your donations and then donations summary by market center. I just clicked on the donations per associate first just to see. I mean, I don't have a lot of data in our market center because I don't think a lot of people have even known about it up until now.
So my donations are not there, even though.
Not?
Right. So that's kind of my thing with if we could find out how to get the functionality accurate. It would help us.
Oh, you know what? I don't see mine either. So, let me see if it shows by mine. One of the things I was thinking about too is since I've been encouraging agents to use these for touches for their spheres, is maybe they actually make the contribution and sponsor, like if they have someone through their sphere that wants to attend, that maybe they actually make the donation on behalf of them. So that's a way for them to be able to also say, I'm sponsoring someone, and kind of go down that route.
Okay. Cool.
Can they do
like
it on the KW website or the KWKC website? Can they sponsor an individual?
Say that again.
Sorry, say it again.
On the KWKC website, I've given that to people who just want to contribute, and they can go pick a class to contribute to. Can they pick a person? Can they be the sponsor for a person?
Yeah, they can donate and be a sponsor for a person. Yeah, they could do that. It all goes in the same pot, so sometimes it's good to go through the portal because it gets linked to the instructor, to the markets. It's sometimes a little easier that way, but it all goes in the same pot. All the money goes to the same way. All right, cool. So in a matter of time, obviously we're a little over time, so I'm going to wrap it up. But I appreciate you guys being on the call, and I'm going to send this out with the slides out to everybody. A couple things that if you have, and what I'd like for you to do is just be able to, as regional people, reach out to some of the folks that are QL instructors. Introduce yourself as the regional area people by March 15th, and just see who's going to actually do a QL workshop inside your area. And then identify maybe some ambassadors from each market center. I sent a list of ones that we have. Actually, I'm sorry. Don't worry about this piece. We're going to actually do this through the regional ALC members are actually going to do this piece about the ambassador, so you don't have to worry about that. One of the things that I'm kind of looking for the area initiatives and models is for each of the areas to maybe choose like initiative to kind of work on as a region. So we're tackling different things. So we're looking for like a region to say, raise their hand and say, hey, I'm willing to take on a model for graduate engagement. I'm willing to do strategic relationships. I'm willing to do market center engagement, and I'm willing to do fundraising. So we can kind of develop each of our areas, developing, going, I would say, deep in these areas, and getting really good at one of these particular things that we can build on as a region collectively, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I would like for you guys to maybe talk amongst, your co-chairs, and, by March 30th, if you can just choose one of these to pick and say, our area, Tampa Bay, we're willing to do this. Orlando, we're willing to do this. Sarasota, we're willing to do this. And Jacksonville, we're willing to do this. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And then final thing, these are going to be our committee meeting schedule, and I'll send this out. But these will be the dates of our meetings. Okay. The next one that we have coming up is going to be being able to select, and I spent a whole lot of time on this, but May 14th, we need to kind of select one of our QL warriors or from our distinguished graduates. This is the program where each class, per 15 students that you have in a class, we want you to pick a distinguished graduate from the workshops. And then these people will go, they can submit an application that I kind of sent over to you guys. It's like a QL warrior application. And from that group, 2 individuals will be selected from the region to go and get sponsored by the region to go see Gary Keller. Okay. Those applications are going to be due by the end of May. And then we'd like to have the submissions where we select we'll be voting on this as a committee to present to Georgia as these are the people that we want to select to go. Okay.
Very good.
All right, cool. Well, I appreciate everybody being on the call, and let's go change some lives in North Florida.
Woohoo! Chris, thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
All right.
See you guys.